Okay, so I'll pull up my Excel spreadsheet and I have to type those numbers in, which is gonna really suck, but I'll just grab one of y'all. Somebody's got it in order. Let me borrow it. Which one of y'all's got them in order? Oh, I'll just type them in with 16 to 17. We'll just do that. So, 16 to 17, 18 to 19, 19 to 20, 21 to 22, right? And 23. Now I'm missing again. Where'd I miss up? What? Why do I keep doing that? 20 to 21, 22 to 23. And what you could do here is say 24 to 26, or you could say 24 plus, or you could say 24 to 25 and just put the 26 in there. Either way you do it, it doesn't matter. 24 to 25. All right, what's my numbers? 13, 7, 2, 1, and 2. All right, so here's our lower class limit. Oops, lower class limit. Here's our upper class limit. Here is our head count, which is what? ASF. And what do we need? We need X, Hubert. That's right, class. What's X? Midpoint. And that's going to be equal to parentheses this guy plus this guy divided by 2. And I'm going to let y'all do the rest. There you go. Oh, Lord, I tell you what. I hate this remote, but it works later. Is that good enough sitting on the back row and can't see?
So, can you go real quick again what computer you, or what functions you did in column X?
Well, you got to remember your formula. What's your formula? That's why the formula is so important. What's the two formulas? What is the mean formula? The mean of the frequency distribution is equal to the summation of what? F times X over F N. Summation of F or N. And then your standard deviation for your frequency distribution is equal to N times the summation of F times X squared, brackets, minus the summation of F times X quantity squared, brackets, all over N times what? And that's the variance. And of course, if you want the standard deviation, what do? Take the square root of the variance, which is that. So now you got to get those components. Now the first couple of times I did everything for you. Now I want you to do it. I want you to try to get you to do it on your own.
So we're trying to find the standard deviation, or we need...
Yes, I've got to run copies of them, but they're downstairs right now. Do you need them right now? What do you need to know? And I'll tell you, since I kept your papers, what do you need to know? What do you need to have? Look at your formula. You need N. So what's N? The summation of what? That. So that's N right there. Okay, what else do you need? You got F. What else do you need? X squared. X squared is your next column. What'd you say? Well, what I do is I do x squared first, and then I move over a couple of columns and I do f times x, then I do f times x squared. Yes, ma'am. Okay, each one is f. This is a frequency, this is a frequency, this is a frequency, this is a frequency, this is a frequency. That's a head count. Frequency is a 25-cent word per head count. You add them all up, and that's n. N is the whole class. So if there's 30 people in the class, n is equal to 30, but each person is a head count, x. Okay. Let me quit taking wild men tonight. That's a joke. I say that about myself when I go off. I need to quit taking wild men, not me. If you want that, but that's the way you flow, that's the way you flow. What'd you say? F times x, then f times x squared. What is that complicated?
Yeah, I don't know what to do on a computer.
All right.
I know what to do.
Okay, I'm going to do x squared. X squared. So you hit equals, and you click on x, and you shift 6, 2. I forgot to put a 2 up there. Check your numbers. Oh, where's the put? Okay, now you have everything but n. Let me give you n. Summation, dang old, highlight those. Dang old n is equal to 25. Okay, now you have all your components for your formulas. Now all you have to do is just do what they say do. F times x would be first, yes. F times x be right here, and I usually skip a column so that way I don't get anything confused. Equals this guy times, which is shift 8, and this guy, and that, Control C, Control V, and there's that. Move it over for you. All right, now what? F times x squared. Equals F times x squared. And now you got everything to plug in. So start plugging it in your formula. I don't think the air's on. Is it to y'all? Huh? I don't feel anything. I got a whole watermelon sitting in my dadgum refrigerator, and I go by Spinks, and get watermelon in a bowl. I don't know why I didn't cut that watermelon up. And I grew my own watermelon. That sucks. So, Clemson beat Daniel this weekend, and South Carolina beat Seneca. Who did Georgia play? They didn't play? That's a good move. So who does Clemson play this week? That ain't going to be pretty. No. I thought they play FSU. Well, that might be a good thing.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, they're going to get their butts kicked either way. I mean, I'm a Clemson fan, dude.
I'm a Clemson fan, but you're in the all children's conference, and the only team you got to play is Florida State. So, in Miami, when they're not all in jail. Huh? Now, who does South Carolina have? Ooh, that's going to be a good game. Huh?
That's why Clemson has a ball lead.
Yeah. Them dogs going to whoop up on them chickens. Sorry, I like both of them, but I got to pull for my dogs. I got 2 degrees from Clemson, but I pull for my dogs. I'm not one of these cavemen that you can't pull for any other team. Well, that's a bunch of bull crap. Do anything I want to. All right. So, N is equal to what? No, I can't. Can't move it down because I had to explode it for the people sitting on the back row. Just kidding. All right, times. And then we're going to put dang old f times x squared, which is right here. That number right there. Put that right there. So that's equal to f times x squared. That number minus this number, quantity what? Quantity squared, Hubert. That's right, class. Thank you for the interaction. And all that's over n times what? Times n minus 1, Hubert. That's right, class. Appreciate the interaction. Now, 25 times minus this number raised to the second power. What do you need to check here? What do you need to check? You need to make sure that this number is what than this number? Say again? All I heard was this has to be bigger than this number, or this has to be less than this number. If this number is smaller than this number, you've done something wrong. Diva. All right, equals 25 times 24. Sorry. Y'all supposed to have a heart attack. Oh, good gracious. I've taken more screenshots because of my button on the back of this thing. Oh. Every time I hit the down button, it takes a screenshot. All right, so equals this guy minus this guy, and equals 600 there. So our variance is equal to this guy divided by this guy, and then the standard deviation is equal to that guy raised to the 0.5 power, or the square root. And we got to get our mean. Our mean is going to be equal to, move up, the summation of f times x divided by what? And now we can do our normal distribution. Equals 18 equals the mean plus what? The standard deviation. And equals this guy plus the standard deviation. That's why I don't like to enlarge it. And on the left side, this guy minus the standard deviation. And this guy minus the standard deviation. So what does that mean? That means that if you're 13 years old, you barely fit into two standard deviations, which would be 95%. If you're 24 years old, you're out of the 95%, which leads to the empirical rule, which is in your book. Somebody find it for me. It should say the empirical rule, and it should have a graph divided up into percentages. So if somebody find that page, let me know so I can make a note of it. It should have empirical rule, EMPHERICAL, empirical rule, in which most of you that have had probability and statistics know that 95% falls within the what? Two what? Standard deviations. So if you're 12 years old, you're what's called you're outside of the 95%. If you're 10 years old, then you're an outlier. 10-year-old taking a college course. Now, why is the age higher? Well, I fudged the data, but is the age going to be higher on a community campus versus a residential campus? Yes, because on a community campus, there's people that are taking classes that are non-traditional, which means they're not right out of high school. You feel good about yourself? Now find the mean the old traditional way. Mean, median, and mode, and the standard deviation just using the numbers. You know, like test scores. Try that. And we'll do that on the spreadsheet next. That's the way everybody knows how to do. Add them up. Divide by what? 25. Find the average. Mean, median, and mode. Range, mid-range. I'll go through the whole list. She didn't like it. You tried it? That's good. Mean, median, mode, range, mid-range, and standard deviation. Mid-range is your highest minus your lowest, divided by 2. All right, we got 116. How many 17s? 13. How many? 12. It should be 12. How many 18s? 2 20s. I'm sorry, what? 22, 25, 26. All right, the mean, well, we all know what the mean is. The mean is add them all up and divide by what? So equals, and I'll put n is equal to 25. And I'll go equals, parentheses, summation. No, it's not going to like that. Equals summation. Okay, didn't like that either. Don't like that for some reason. Okay. You gonna work with me here or what? There we go. Summation of all these guys divided by n. 18.3. Is that what y'all got? Yep. Median is going to be the middle. Well, we got 25, so you got to count 12 up and 12 down, and that'll be the middle. So 12 up and 12 down be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There it is. We'll highlight that one yellow. And that's equal to median. Now, what do you notice about the median and the... How did that happen? What do you notice about the median and the mean? They close? They're pretty close. That means the data is what? Tight or sloppy? Tight. That's a good indicator right there. Mode. Oh gosh. Mode is the one that shows up the most, and that would be 17. Now the mode, I'm going to highlight it red because you can't calculate it. It's observed. You can't calculate the mode. Can you have more than one mode? Yes. It's not a big deal. Mode is not that important. Don't spend a lot of time on mode because what you want is the mean and the standard deviation. Range is your highest minus what? Minus lowest. Mid-range is that number divided by what? Divided by 2. I'm sorry. Well, no, that's not right. Yeah, that is right. I just had a brain bubble. I'm sorry. Variance. That's where we get into the variance and standard deviation of the data set. This is called a data set. Let me get back to your, and somewhere in here, bless you, quit sneezing. No, yawning and sneezing. I don't understand y'all. You're coughing. Good gosh. All right. It's back here somewhere. There's the mid-range. Somewhere in here is standard deviation. Might be, what am I in? 3 point what? I think it's in the next section. 3.3. There we go. And I use, that's the frequency distribution. Let's see. Yeah. I use this one. Okay? So, we're going to have to use the spreadsheet to take x bar away from x and square it. So, let's go back to our handy dandy spreadsheet, and I'll call this x, and the next column would be x minus what? X bar, and that's equal to x minus x bar, and copy that down, and there's that. And then what do you do with that number right there? You square it, right? So they'll all be positive. Oops. X minus x bar, quantity squared. And that's equal to this guy. Whoa, wait a minute. I didn't lock this. Hold on. Hold on a second. That's not right. Equals this minus this, and hit F4. F4 locks it. Remember that if you're going to use spreadsheet. F4 locks it. And that's equal to this guy raised to the second power. Add that number up. And divide it by what? N minus 1. This guy divided by parentheses N minus 1. And then do what with that? That's the variance. What do you do to the variance? You get the standard deviation. Take 0.5 power. Throw an ampersand in there too. Point. And look at that. There's our standard deviation. Now compare the two. What was your standard deviation with the frequency distribution? 18.3. What's your mean? I'm sorry, mean is 18.3. What's your mean of the data set? 18.4. What's the standard deviation? 2.5. What's the standard deviation? 2.5. Now, the reason I show you these two problems is to show you that you can find the mean and the standard deviation of a frequency distribution and it be just as accurate as what? As the data set. That's the whole point of me showing you this problem. So that way you can see that if you arrange your data, if you have a data set or if you have a frequency distribution, you can find the mean and the what? Standard deviation. Notice again, these two numbers are pretty close. Now if this was a 15, then you'd have sloppy data, or a 16, or a 14, or a 25. Well, it wouldn't be 25, but that number's close to that number. The closer these two numbers are, the tighter your data is. Question. All right, let's do a nerd. We'll find one in the homework, and y'all can do it. Let me just go to the homework.
What does all the homework do? And what sections do we need to go through?
I don't know. I don't have a clue.
But like, you don't know like at all what sections?
Don't know.
But we don't have to do all.
I might hand out something. Do I hand out something that has that on there?
Yes.
Yeah, it's called the what? Yeah.
No, you handed this out, but it just says that. No, wait.
Syllabus. Last page of the syllabus. I told you it was the most important part. You're supposed to have it on the outside of your notebook. Okay? All right. Now, let me go back and hit 3.2 again because I want to go over another frequency distribution.
Hey, just so you know, we got 7 minutes.
Okay. All right, well, I'll go ahead and call the roll. What you need to be working on, and that's what I tell y'all at the end of every class, y'all need to be working on 3.1, 3.2, and 3.3 material. We still have to go back to chapter 2 and go over some definitions, but that's not a big deal. This is the majority of your test. This is 80% of your test right here. So we are in 3.3 right now. So chances are you're probably going to be having a test next week. Now, what was your question?
What homework do you do? 3.4 and go to all the test. You just get 2.4.
I said we're going to go back to chapter 2 after I finish chapter 3. Yeah. If I don't cover it, you don't do it. I mean, y'all can do it if you want to. I'm going to go back and cover it. I said we were going to skip it because it's not that important. It's just definitions. It's not that big of a deal.
But essentially,
This is 80% of your test right here, 3.1 through 3.4. I want to spend most of my time on 3.1 and 3.4.
so, but by the test, 1.1 and 3.4 needs to be done.
Yeah, but chapter 1 and chapter 2 is only 20% of your test. It's not that big of a deal.
I understand, but I'm just...
But yeah, but you need to have all, technically you should have chapter 1 and 2 homework done because chapter 1 and 2 is all what?
Vocabulary.
Reading. It's all reading. What y'all should be focusing on is what I'm doing now. Okay? All right, I'll go ahead and call the roll. What? Ma'am?
I saw you
Okay. What does the date, what is the date that we went over say that we're supposed to be having a test? When? I can't hear all that.
9/11.
Next class, so we're going to miss that date. Oh my gosh!
Okay,
I don't know. I have no idea.
We do.
I have no idea. I mean, I'm not trying to be a smartass. I told y'all all of this, and it's on your handouts. All righty. Hold on just a second.